Hello and welcome to IFAR Season 16 here at Atlanta 2, but you argue it's technically not the same Atlanta because it's not. The modern Atlanta, as figured I'd like to call it, as they would call it, Echo Park. Yeah, I got Victor in the booth here tonight, and I believe we are past the halfway point in the season, so things are going to be shaken up here as this would be considered a super speedway-esque track.
And it certainly is going to be a show of shows. In Georgia, this is the second Super Speedway-esque track of the season, and also the second time we going to Atlanta. Like you mentioned, this is the modern-day interpretation of Atlanta Motor Speedway, now known as Echo Park Speedway.
And putting it on the pole here tonight, Alexander Gonzalez-Greene in the 18. Another pole for him. Also a nice qualifying effort by the Star Sport cars of Daniel Rivera and Jelani Howell. We starting second and third respectively.
And continuing down, we got Harry Crawford joining Jelani Howell in row 2 with Stephen Gibson and William Viola in row 3. Ladenbach and Muyang in row 4 with Dan and Tingley row 5. Rife and Clements in row 6. And Lane Johnson and Thomas Johnson, row 7. He can't script that.
Yeah.
He just can't.
No, I mean Atlanta's something.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Daniel Rodriguez and Jaden Mitzel in row 8 with Lanny Pavlin and Cameron Jamison, row 9. Friesen Rodriguez and Carl Childress in row 10. Tyler Z's and Dylan Negron, row 11, and the final 2 drivers to set a lap time. While Iker Vera, Landon Loud, Chris Stallmeyer, and Daniel Silla have opted not to set a qualifying lap. I think the game crashed. Or the server, rather.
Oh, it appears so. Well.
Not the first time this has happened this season.
You know, we get your stuff ready just in case.
Yep, I saw EGT fell out in TeamSpeak, so
yeah,
it's going to go down.
Bear with us for a moment. Technical difficulties.
Well, I wasn't going to bring it up, but I feel like this variant on NR is a little bit unoptimized and has been proven so during practice and qualifying, and it would appear it has affected our race RV owner and server host.
So he'll be getting that reset, and we'll get this back on here shortly.
And he states that the internet has fully dropped, so probably at most a 5 minutes wait.
Yeah, could be that, or You know, maybe someone hit a telephone pole, maybe just random internet drops. I mean, servers are weird like that with like internet connections. You never know. I mean, I'm sure some of you folks at home watching this can attribute to the fact like sometimes you'll just be sitting there and then randomly the internet drops for like a minute tops or like 5 seconds and then back to normal like nothing happened. It's just really weird. Sometimes those hiccups or those kinks, as you would say, in the connections to the servers and whatnot, and you know, stuff like that happens sometimes.
I mean, we can also look back at Homestead because that was the weirdest kind of NR internet issues I've ever seen.
Yeah, definitely so.
But I do see AGG back in the TeamSpeak, so the server should be going up in a couple minutes time, and yep, it's back up. And we will not be redoing qualifying. We'll take the opening lap to reset the starting grid.
Yeah, and I imagine if that had happened like during qualifying or before, they probably would have just redone qualifying. But because qualifying had already been done, everyone put in their work to get the lap times they deserved, and they get to keep those.
So while we're still trying to set the server back up, we might as well take a look at the points because this is the third to final race in the regular season, which means we gotta start talking about the chase. Right now, Gino Benoni leads with Joshua Clarence P2, William Field P3, Landon Allen 4th, Daniel Rodriguez in 5th, Stephen Gibson P6, Harry Crawford 7th, and Cole Rodriguez holding the final top 8 spot. So it's top 8 plus 2 wild cards. Currently, Jolene Sims and Alexander Gonzalez-Greene with 1 podiums apiece occupy the 2 wild card spots, although they still have to clear the minimum start requirements. Jolene needing 1 more start, and AGG needing 3 more.
While they get everything sorted out with the qualifying and stuff, they're going to make sure everybody rejoins the server before they push it forward. And once they do that, it's going to mostly be getting that order set up. Probably take maybe a lap, maybe 2. I doubt 2, but you never know. I'm gonna get my cameras reset while that's going on.
And now they're just taking happy hour to, most importantly, figure out where the pit stalls are, because qualifying is washed away from the first session. We'll have to reset that, but the game will still just randomize an order, and that also means randomizing the pit selection.
Yeah. Speaking of, let's see who got that first pit stall. Looks like, I think that's Jamison?
It is.
Jamison got it, yeah. It's actually pretty big. See if that can benefit him this race at all. I believe he is the IFAR driver with the most starts without a win.
And he's contributed quite a lot to this league, and finally barely races anymore. We have been seeing him get back into the driver's seat recently. So, and late races have been one of his strong suits, so hopefully he does well tonight.
Yeah.
Or they're going to set back to practice.
Oh.
So now that's out the window. Now it's down at ground with the first pit box.
They missed Laudenbach. Alright, that's understandable. Okay, yeah, so all that talk about Cameron Jamison maybe getting his first IFAR win. Hey, I mean, it could still happen. It could still happen. Don't count out Mr. Cameron Jamison. But
He's still got a good pit stall though. He's now rolled 6.
yeah, still good. Yeah. Yeah. Who got the crappiest pit box? Or I say crappiest, Landy Pavlon towards the back, along with Thomas Johnson, Landon Lyle, Carlos Childress, Gibson, Howell, the man down under. Stradelmeyer. Okay, this is Pitbox. I don't recognize. I'm assuming that's Skylar Dens. Carson Williams, Lane Johnson. Yeah, I'm just going through pistols at this point. There's no point in that. But yeah, we'll just have to see how it all dividends through.
Yeah, it really depends on who you got around you. Like, who do I want to blame here? I want to say probably towards 16 through 20 is like, you got Daniel Silla, Lane Johnson. Like, historically, they haven't been the best at pit stop execution. So, if you're someone like William Vila or Garson Million, you better hope that they get out of the way as soon as they can.
Yeah, another thing to factor in tonight, this being Atlanta, brings the packs closer together. That opens the door for what some would call the big one. So we'll have to keep an eye on that.
Drivers.
So we are set to go racing now. It says 100 laps for tonight, but we are taking the opening lap to correct the qualifying order.
Lap 66 on a tank, so probably you could probably gamble with spacing out a little bit past halfway, but that just depends on what the pack does, honestly. Daggone, they put my random pistol up there on like third or fourth on the track. Daggone.
Well, it's a good pit stall if you were racing, but
Yeah, if I was
here
racing,
you
I'd be a hot spot.
So there is one favorite for this race that I want to point out as they reset the race session. But there is one person I want to look at. There, Landon Lyle in the number 81, if he's racing, that is. He is looking at the best in terms of numbers. Last season's Echo Park race here, he finished second place, or third place rather. But this season's Daytona race, the IFAR 250, he finished second place. So third here at the track last season. He's a definite favorite. He's gonna have to crawl a ways back. He's starting a little ways back, but well, actually, I'm not gonna say that because I forgot the qualifying order, to be honest.
Yeah. All I know is AGG's on the pole, and then you got a couple sport cars behind that. I think Kerry Crawford also got a good start.
Drivers, start your engines.
Oh, while they're taking a lap to grid, we got some new Thomas Troxell's top tips, and number one of those being you must watch baseball. Next one being baseball is a great sport, and go stand out in the rain for 5 minutes. And that was Troxell's top tips for the week.
And I guess it's somewhat related to baseball, but we talked a little bit prior to stream, but we saw during practice the amount of cars are easily blowing over, and I would be surprised if we get a home run here, because it's not one of those places where you could get out of the track, but it's still very likely because now it's a plate track.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, not very often you see cars go out of the ballpark. I don't think I've ever seen one in a race on a broadcast have a car go over the catch nest or anything like that. I have had some cars do it in practice and post-race, but never during an actual race session. And I guess that's more of a fortunate thing, to be honest.
Well, the best thing I could reference is a Discord GIF where someone got stuck in the fence at turn 4, but that's as close as you can get to getting out of the track.
Wait, wasn't that TJ Smith one?
I'm pretty sure it was.
I think I remember that race. That was insane. I think I was at this very track too.
They wrecked under pacing somehow.
What?
So that's spinning.
Oh my god. Where? Huh? There's no way. Oh my gosh. Son. I'm not even gonna give that the benefit of the reaction. Or not the reaction, but the benefit of looking at it. just realized there's a carousel in the infield. Or something. Definitely odd.
We are set to go green flag racing this time by now that the order has been corrected. And we're not going to see a reset of any kind because this would be a painful process. It shall be Alexander Gonzalez-Greene versus Daniel Rivera into the restart zone. And we are underway from Georgia. The AGG's gonna flock back down to the bottom, pick up two fellow Toyotas, and might as well have two manufacturer buddies instead of one on the top side, Daniel River. Meanwhile, gonna have to simmer back down to 5th. Now side by side by Skylar Denton at number 13.
Yeah, F15 dropped like a rock already down to 5th place in one lap.
And now it is Landon Lombach's job to lead the outside train. They have tampered with the I&I for this season, trying to balance out the lanes. Last season, it was more bottom lane dominant. The season prior, it was top lane dominant, much like a classic Daytona train. But now it seems like this season they have figured out the perfect balance, at least what we've been seeing in practice and what we've been seeing in the first 3 laps of this race.
Yeah, I think another thing to factor in is, this isn't just your typical super speedway, flat out, no tire wear. I think tire wear is going to play a bit of a factor here if they made this setup the way I'm thinking they are, or they think they did.
I would comment on that, but I also been wrecked in both Echo Park races I've done here in IFAR, so I can't really tell you whether or not there was tire wear.
Yeah, I remember one season, I could have swore there was some, the way they were driving, but maybe that's just me not knowing how that works. But regardless, we are starting to see a little bit more filing out on that bottom lane early into this run.
Yeah, got a couple of warnings out there for connection issues. Again, this track's a tiny bit unoptimized, seeing a bit of game crashes during practice. And I don't know if you're seeing it, Zach, on your end, but the cars look a little bit shaky out there.
It's a little noticeable. It's probably not near as bad, but on my end, but it's a little noticeable. That 90, I think that 94 though is definitely the big one to look at here in terms of connection, probably.
Yep, he has fallen back to 23rd, still in the lead of draft. Everyone still is, barely. Got TalhaDevYT and Carl Church as the 2 stragglers.
Yeah, Talha.
Sorry.
No, you go ahead.
Yeah, apparently Jaden Mitzel's a lap down. I don't think that's correct. He must have blinked across the line.
Yeah, I was going to say, Talha, though, normally you'd see him up front with qualifying sessions. Today, not quite. And in fact, he has not really gained a lot of spots, just holding back here. I think he's playing a little bit of the fuel-saving game. He's going to have to be careful, though, because if you play that game a little too hard, you're going to end up losing the draft. So we'll see how he does with that. And I think Carl Childress, I'm not exactly sure if he's taking the same strategy or he might have another issue going on.
Well, Carl has always been the type of driver at these plate tracks to stay in the back in the early going, just let them break it up, and he'll try to find his way crawling back through the field in the closing laps. So it's going to be the same process here, I presume.
Yeah, my only concern is, you take that room, you give that room, I believe he might have fallen out of the draft. You see the 94, it looks like they may be parking it for the night due to the connection issues.
Yep, 94 down the pit lane. Childress is within a second of the Z's, and the Z's is actually about to lose the lead draft, having to find a way closer to number 61, who is the caboose of the main draft.
Yeah, he's gonna need like some of these guys to check up or something. It's almost like I think some of these guys are fuel saving a little bit. Hard to say. I felt like I heard someone was clutching there for a second, but with the way these guys are driving right now, we're not seeing a lot of checkups. We're not seeing a lot of reasons for lost momentum among this main group. So for Talha to catch up, he's just really gonna have to hit his marks, make sure he hits those lines really smooth to be able to catch him.
Benson completes 11 laps in IFAR Season 16. This is Echo Park Speedway race number 8 of the season, I'm pretty sure. Or 7, I forgot. But it is Toyota at the head of this ship with Alexander Gonzalez-Greene, Jelani Howell, and Gibson in the top 3. Meanwhile, Rife is 4th place, and 2 fellow Fords only 1 Ford now, that being Eric Carver directly behind him. William Viola has jumped ship from Millennium Cup Racing in between races, so now he is on Scuderia Carmona Racing, now sporting the same livery but now marked as a Chevrolet Camaro.
Seeing a little bit of that high line. Again, it's just not really been too prevalent, but it looks like at the moment it's kind of stagnating. And I think that's mostly due to the fact that most of the field has been comfortable on this bottom, and the top lane just doesn't have the cars.
It certainly seemed that way. The thing when trying to make a good racing product for online racing is you don't necessarily want them to be the 2 grip lanes or even 3 to be a stagnated race product, because ultimately no one can pass, and you might as well be looking at a next gen race.
Yeah, pretty much. Kind of funny how a lot of this stuff with this game and the current setups and how these most of the online league races are done, it's almost right in tune with how they have next gen racing in real life with the current NASCAR Cup car. It's pretty uncanny how a game that's 20 years old is able to resemble something similar to that in such cases. Oh, 30 on the wall.
Yeah, Cameron Jamison is gonna get 3 wide outside. We're gonna have to drop in behind Landon Lau, who started towards the rear, by the way, and has worked his way up to 16th at the last scoring loop.
Yeah, I mean, hit the wall there. He was able to keep it going. I was kind of worried he was going to get sucked into the wall and that was going to be curtains, but thankfully he was able to get back off the wall cleanly and not overcorrect or get loose and spin. Looks like they're catching up to a lap car here, 77. Stays out of the way.
He was running with his lead group, like in the first 10 laps, but something must have happened to have him gone a lap down.
Yeah, he might have had a connection issue or something like that. He didn't fall out, but something might have happened.
Or possibly a wreck we didn't see, because at least according to Chad, Daniel Silla stated that he was still side by side with someone.
He might have spun somewhere and we might have missed it. And Scylla, when we ran the legacy version of this track, he was running, top 5 at some points. Granted, it was short run, but have that short run pace is not the easiest of feats. So he's definitely been finding something here and there. I wouldn't wholeheartedly say he's improving overall, but he's definitely finding some footing. And I'm curious to see how that transitions in these upcoming races. Currently just, running by himself, hitting the apron here and there. Not exactly the best line to take, but regardless, still in the race, still holding firm.
Crawford has jumped up to the outside, leading that train of cars, now being pushed by Rife and Viola. So So looks like the Ford cars are starting to find each other. You got Garza Young, another Ford on the bottom lane, staying with Skylar Den at number 13.
Den, I think, was on that top line a little bit ago. Has decided to discontinue that commitment. Oh, Laudenbach, big issues. He is in the grass.
Gotta be careful with merging. He's on the brakes.
Oh, he just hit the wall hard. Something happened at 44. A quick look at
And
it.
he's not looking to hold the brake this time. He's gonna drift back up the track. Ikufera with a close call there.
Yeah, I think his controller
And
disconnected.
he's finally off the track.
Yeah, Rivera, Carl Childress, and TalhaDevYT have fallen out of the draft completely here. Really curious to see how that's the case. Maybe I really can't think of why that would happen.
And tonight's race uses CTS physics. Now, that does improve Super Speedway product. Like, you're able to generate a run better, but if you're the last car within a draft, you're not able to suck in to the draft any quicker. So ultimately, you have to be lucky that there's a checkup or something. Otherwise, you're more likely to lose the draft. Ideally, you want to be stalemate with the car ahead of you to close back in, but that must have been the case with those three cars, and yeah, they're gonna have to find each other and just draft with each other.
Yeah, pretty much. I think it's pretty much going to be a loss overall. Maybe get lucky with the yellow.
And speaking of which, there's Carl Childress about to go one lap down, staying on the top side.
Oh, he's in the wall.
And trying his best to stay out of the way, and
Yeah.
he already lost the draft once, and looks like he's going to lose it again. Now it is the 77 who passes him for position, and will keep the Lucky Dog position.
And that's big. And if I'm Jaden Mizzle, if he's able to, I'm not sure. He looks like he's not been able to hold up to this back pack as well. But if he is able to maybe get up through these cars and try to get up as far into this pack as you can, try to, in case there is a yellow, put yourself in the best spot you can in case someone else goes a lap down. Like the next car to go a lap down will be the 61 of Ike Rivera.
Well, I like to disagree because we're only on lap 27. Still got plenty of racing to do. As I believe we're approaching pit stop soon, actually, given this is a 2x race. But the point is, if they happen to wreck, which they almost just did with Eddie Crawford being shoved up on the front stretch, Mitchell would not want to be a part of that and lose that ability to get the Lucky Dog.
Yeah, that is true. That's a good point. Yeah, that 76 he just got his J's creased. I mean, not J's creased, but he is, yeah, he just lost a ton of spots from that. Already at the back of the pack within just one lap.
So Ford loses one contender towards the top 10, but they still have three of them holding strong. Mu Young in 4th, Stan in 5th, Ripe in 7th, but in between them is Chevrolet. I haven't seen much of the Chevrolet teams. And right now, Friesen Rodriguez is the highest. The closest I've been seeing is William Viola with his new teammate, Clements, working together on the top side for pretty much this entire race so far.
The 61 of Ike Rivera goes a lap down here. Now you talk about checkup, that's 43. Somehow keeps that one car.
Somehow, and nice awareness by rookie driver Jaden Mitchell to avoid it, but he's going to lose the draft, unfortunately.
Yeah, so it looked like the 90, I think, checked up there. Maybe the 25 slowed down a little bit earlier in the corner, and he was anticipating. And Silla just kind of caught it at a bad spot right in the exit of the corner. Got loose. Kept it straight, but he's going to be in a really tough spot as well now. And along with the 38, might be losing the draft here along with the 79, another couple Fords.
And add another lapped car to the list, TalhaDevYT.
Yeah, I mean, all these guys going a lap down. I mean, that list of cars is getting higher and higher, and only one of them is going to get their lap back under the lucky dog. Granted, there might be, pit stops might go a little bit a certain way, where they can maybe stay out after yellow if there is a caution before or after in a certain way of it being organized. But I mean, you're really looking for that lucky dog.
And speaking of lucky dog, TalhaDevYT now comfortably getting slotted, so the car ahead of him, IFAR, now holds the lucky dog position.
And as you see now, the entire field, single file. So at the moment, if Talha wants to go for that lucky dog spot, it's going to be a little bit more difficult.
And it's just like, why would they give up and going side by side? It's just, if we've been paying attention, it kind of just been a slow decline of drivers that are wanting to try something on the outside. And we're only 1/3 of the way through.
Talha could also just wreck him. That works too. Oh my gosh! That's probably a caution.
No one has said anything.
They might just ignore that one just for the sake of it.
And there is a caution. Bit late, but they have been notified.
Yeah, that was something. First caution of the night, lap 35. Good replay on that.
Well, that was a checkup from the inside lane where it was the ground directly ahead of Vera, and Talha just wasn't ready for it. And the second car involved was Stonemeyer and Bro.
Yeah, it was pretty
kind of mixed on if he had a chance to avoid it. Could be a plow, could be not.
I don't know. I mean, the 61 was coming down the track. I don't know, but it is a rough situation either way.
Now this saves everyone a green flag pit stop, as everyone has blocked down the pit lane. Remember, this is randomized pit boxes, so better hope you knew where your pit box were.
We did most. 18 lost quite a few spots there on pit road. We'll have a new leader.
Right now the 55 is ways ahead at being Elaine Johnson, but they're going to come down pit lane this time, so I believe it is Jelani Hollow who inherits the race lead.
You know, they qualified really well here. Definitely a driver you want to take a look at when it comes to plate racing. Done very well at these tracks here in the past. Well, in some cases. Do they have an IFAR win?
Who?
Jelani Howe?
I believe so. I mean, for how long Jelani has been in this league, I'll be surprised if I look through spreadsheets and find that he would not have a race win here at IFAR.
There you go. I think I remember someone saying they got like their first podium or something back in like season 13, I think, at Diga. Could be wrong on that.
I'll try to look for that, but choose cone this time.
I need to get my camera set up. There you go.
Just a little bit past our finish.
Oh yeah, that's an easy spot. Hopefully no one hits it this time. I know people were hitting it like it was,
Top 5
yeah.
to the bottom lane.
Dadgum. Yeah, it doesn't look like anyone's gambling too much of that choose cone. I do not blame them. Really no point in that. I mean, I can understand why the entire top 5 went bottom. I mean, you see how dominant it is. And, you know, you got those guys, you know, we seen some of these guys in NARL last night, you know, Friesen Rodriguez, Styler Den, William Viola, they were all working together in that Daytona race last night. And I'm sure they're trying to put together a similar strategy for this race. We'll just have to see how the coin flips and the circumstances roll.
And I can confirm that Jelani has not won an IFAR race.
Oh. I'm not going to go out there and say tonight's going to be the night because I don't want to jinx them, but they're in a dang good spot right now.
Also associated with being a terrorist down the super speedways will launch in the restart zone, and we are back underway.
Yeah, I probably should have mentioned that part. The Jelani Halbut draft.
And Daniel Rodriguez, I haven't mentioned him so far. He has found himself second. Gonna block AGG. I don't know if we want to do that.
Yeah, a lot of blocking going on here. Because they know this bottom line is so crucial. And it looks like AGG, he actually got, I wouldn't say faked out, but he got put in the spot. And he's on the top now.
And he's gonna lose a few positions before getting assistance from Dylan Negron.
Yeah, that 20 car got a really good start there.
Like you said, everyone wants the bottom lane. There's only 5, now 4 cars on the top side.
You can see it's just bleeding spots, all 4 cars up there. Like tonight we've had 3 DNFs so far.
That being Iker Vera, which they avoided the wreck, so he must have to leave or something, or no power, according to him in game chat. And it is number 44, Dynalab back beside him had issues, so must have a connection issue.
Oh,
And listed 25th. And then Thomas Johnson 26th with the connection issues. Hello, Troxel.
I decided, you know, I had nothing going on and I didn't want to do this race, so I saw that Thomas Johnson was the only car retired, and I was like, you know what, I'll just take his car and join the booth, because why not? It kind of looks a little fun, but I mainly just want to come up here and just, like, crap talk a bunch of drivers, so...
Yo, let's go!
I mean, like, what's the worst that could happen?
They'll start shooting you up in DMs like, yo man, you can't be talking like that.
Yeah, you can't be talking about IFAR drivers like that.
Yeah, man, you make them look bad.
You're gonna make all these drivers and our drivers look bad.
Yeah, you're making the IFAR look like a joke, man.
Yeah, you're making the league look like a joke. But anyways, I'm glad to be here.
Oh
God, that was tight between
Friesen.
Yeah, Friesen and Negron there.
Now they have found cars on the top side. AGG, who was side by side with 5th place a couple laps ago, now side by side with Den for 3rd place, is looking for more. Now alongside D-Dog for 2nd.
Yeah, they're gonna have a nice run here. Going to turn 1, a little staggered push there between the 90 and the 51, checks up the entire outside lane, which isn't gonna be good for AGG there on the top side. That's gonna be a little sigh of relief there for the 19, though, is they're a lot more formed up on the bottom right now than they are on the top, but that top side's getting formed up again really quickly. I mean, Dylan's a good pusher. Steven's probably one of the best pushers in NR right now. Garson's good, and then the 25 of Liam Tingley's also a really good driver to have up in that top line. But if they can stay stay organized on that top. We might actually see the top side work here for the first time ever in a league race. So that would be really nice to see if that were able to happen.
And right now, Toyota back to where we've been seeing them before. The caution flag, they occupy the top 3 positions. And there's a 4th Toyota amongst the first 3 rows, Steven Gibson, that black number 51 on the outside, just like the detail on the front, who gets turned, and there is a big wreck.
Oh, a huge wreck! Daniel
Yeah,
Rodriguez, Caden Rife. I think that's Liam Tingley in the 25 involved in that.
Yeah, Saviola.
Oh, and bad luck for the 25. He looks like he has a lot of engine damage right there. I don't see anybody else really smoking right now, but that's really unfortunate there. And it looks like Alex got the lead there, which is probably the worst thing anybody could want to see there for the for wanting to go for that win is Alex, Jelani, and Steven being 1, 2, 3 right now.
Yeah, it looked like Dylan just kind of... I don't want to say he got a bad push, but I think just kind of got put in a bad spot and then just spun him around.
Yeah, just got a... I'd call that a bad timed bump. I was hyping up Steven, saying that he was one of the best pushers.
Yeah, I mean, maybe a little too good.
Yeah, maybe a little too good. And unfortunately, just turned the 90 around there, took out Dagan. Lyle got a piece of that, and then Caden spun back up the track, and unfortunately, NR2003's physics decided to take a back seat there to that accident, and gave a lot of engine damage to that 25 car.
Yeah, really unfortunate for Liam Tingley.
Yeah, was having a good run up there, running inside the top 10, I believe.
Pit road is open.
Got some split decisions that allow the first car to stay out. You will take the race lead under this second caution period.
Yeah, it's also interesting to note that the 81 was involved in that accident. He didn't really get too much damage in that accident. I think he just T-boned, I think the 13 it was. Not really too hard, but he was involved in that accident. He decided that didn't have any damage, and he wanted to stay out. And a couple other cars stayed out with him there, along with the 92 of Clements, Elaine Johnson, Daniel Rivera, and Cameron Jameson. And Jaden Mazzell there in the 77, making his second start in IFAR.
Yeah, sometimes if you're in a bad situation, you gotta manifest something, and that's what those guys staying out are trying to do right now.
Yeah, it looks like the winner off of pit road there was Alexander Gonzalez-Greene in the 18. And then I don't know if Scylla pitted or not, but I'm assuming he did. And then Jelani came out in second. Garson came out in third, and then Friesen, Tala, Harry, JLP, Viola, Dylan. Where did oh man, Steven fell all the way back. He was the last car to come off of pit road there.
Yeah, must have had to go do something real quick.
Yeah, either that or he's punishing himself for that incident there off the 2 that caused that big one.
Hey, maybe checking the replay and seeing what caused that.
Yeah.
Maybe it was him giving a bad push or something.
Yeah, just a poorly timed push there of the 51, and that spun around the 90 and caused that massive crash. But you know, for you will see a lot of drivers on that outside be aggressive as we come to the choose here. Looks like Josh and Elaine are going to choose the outside, and the Rivera is going to choose the inside with Landon Lyle. And if you remember last week, I don't know if the race was streamed or not, but last week, Rivera got turned by the 81 off after like the first restart of the race, or first the first restart of the race, I think, and was put a lap down for basically the entire race after that. So hopefully he doesn't decide he wants to give that back to him right now.
That'd be funny though.
Yeah, it would be really funny if he decided he wanted to wreck Lyle for...
That goes on mine!
But yeah, we got Chris Stottlemyre up here in the top 10 after, being in that, I believe it was that first caution, but I don't know. I wasn't watching the stream until about 20 laps ago. And T-Bone in the 61 at Ike Rivera really just had nowhere to go in that instant. But at least he's rebounded well. He's found himself inside the top 10.
haven't noted if Starmer has engine damage or not, but I'll be surprised if he's able to keep pace with these lead lap cars.
Yeah, I'd honestly be surprised if he didn't have any engine damage here as we come back to the restart. Lyle leads us to the green flag here with exactly 50 laps to go here at Atlanta. Oh, and he's spinning into the grass immediately.
Well, we jinxed him.
No, he saved it. Good save from the 79 there, but immediately got shuffled out of that position there, sitting third on the inside, which is unfortunate for him.
That was 3 wide for 5th place Lane Johnson being the ultimate loser in that one, having to fall back to July Hollow.
Yeah, and I don't know if Rivera's going to decide he wants to go with Lyle or not, but I think the 92 has his mind made up. He wants to work with the 18 at Alexander Gonzalez-Greene, and he's going to stay to the outside. Rivera's drifting up in the middle of the corner. The 70's having a little... Yeah, the 70's having a little bit of warp right now, but all's good right now. As, yeah, another 15 went up there. Oh, that was really close between him and the 81 and the 92.
Oh,
and he
there you
walked up
go.
in a wreck. That's a huge wreck. That's going to involve Jelani Howe, Joseph Landy Pavlon, the 02, the 43, and the 55, all involved in that accident there. That's just really unfortunate warp. Only happening in the middle of the corner, apparently, for the 70.
It's just so scary to have these netcode issues at the plate tracks because you're all bunched up and you're trying to make moves, but like we saw, Garson.
Oh, Rivera
really
and
unfortunate.
Lyle are getting into a little bit of a pissing match right here off the exit or the entry of turn 3. Alex telling them to calm down or else he's gonna park both of them, but. Yeah, you can see that that beef boiling over a little bit. Boiling over a little bit for those two, the 15 and the 81. But neither of them are going to come down pit road. Jelani's going to come down pit road. He did get damage in that incident, which was unfortunate because as you guys were talking about, he is one of the, I think he's in the top 5 of drivers with the most starts without a single win in this series, so... You know, really unfortunate for him. He was up at the front earlier, but for right now, it looks like that we're going to have to calm down the celebration plans about hearing him speak for the first time.
Wait,
As that was the gift he was going to give to us if he were to ever win an IFAR race, but for right now, it looks like that we're going to have to calm down a little bit thinking about him winning.
It reminds me of the Suppressor 69 bet, kind of.
Yeah, Soup, if he ever won a race, that we would get to hear his voice. I think Jelani was doing it first, but I don't want to be the guy to be like, oh yeah, he was doing it first, or the other guy was doing it first, or
I
something
don't know.
like that. But
it was probably around the similar era. I mean, I think IFAR came out a little bit before DSRA. Granted, I wasn't around here before all that happened, but yeah, still interesting to take note of.
Well, IFAR came before DSRA, that's for sure, but in terms of the two bets of Soup and Jelani, I want to say, well, maybe Troxel knows a little bit more about the IFAR lore than I do, because I joined in season 7, which was...
I joined in later than you, man. I joined in season 9, so...
Oh, that's the helpful.
Yeah, but I don't know how long it's been going on, but I am correct. Jelani is in the top 5 for most starts without a win. He is at 90 right now. He will probably be at 91 after this race unless a miracle happens. So, really unfortunate for him because I was really banking on him him doing some good here.
So Chuscon has commenced the BATO front row. Cameron Jamison has found himself 3rd place.
Yeah,
IS running forward right now.
Yeah, this is his second start this season. Second start since since his return, since he took a sabbatical from racing or not racing IFAR at least for about a season. But he's thankfully back. Glad to see him back, and he's actually having himself a pretty good run right now, running in a third behind the 81 of Landon Lyle, and he's got good help behind him in the 18 Alexander Gonzalez-Greene. I want to mention this as well because he was recently passed, I believe, this season or the end of last season. But Cameron Jamison has 135 starts in this league, and he is the second on the board for the most starts without a win in IFAR. And the driver that's ahead of him right now is that 20 car of D-Dog, who was involved in that big one that happened 2 cautions ago. But anyways, we can talk about that in a little bit. Lyle and Rivera are going to lead us down to the green flag here, and Lyle gets a little bit of tire spin. That's going to help the 15 out on the restart.
And Clements will be the first to push Daniel Rivera on the outside. Cameron Jamison has caught the 81 mid-corner. Don't want to use that mid-corner bump draft that Jelani likes to use.
Yeah, and that outside doesn't really seem to be as formed up as the inside right now. They're getting together, but with the stuttering that's going on between a lot of the cars up there at the front right now, it's not looking good for that outside. But they're making a little bit of a move. They're starting to get up back towards the front, but unfortunately, with just how powerful that inside is right now and the warping of the 15, I don't know if they're really going to have too much help there. You see the 70 drops down to the inside. Probably precautionary because of the warp that he was having earlier, but all in all, I'd say it's a safer move to get down to the bottom so you don't lose as many spots as you could lose on that outside that isn't formed up right now.
But I've also been seeing this a lot of the restarts, even when the outside seems formed up, drivers would like to lock down to the bottom because in stereotypical fashion, the bottom lane is the fastest way around and the only working line around these super speedways.
Yeah, it's a thing I've noticed here that even with a lot of help on that top, it does take a really long time for that outside line to get formed up, especially here at Echo Park or Atlanta. I'm just gonna call it Atlanta, but
yeah, that's what I've been doing.
It's this track. The last season we came here, the outside took about 25 laps to work when it was really formed up with a lot of good cars. I do think it's going to be a little different here. I don't know if you changed the grip values or not. But, I mean, Alex Rivera and Clements are leading that outside right now, and those are about 3 of the best cars that you could want leading that outside. And the inside shuffling a little bit right now, so we're probably going to see that outside make a little momentum here in the next coming laps. But it takes a really long time for that outside to get momentum going on the inside.
And Landon Lyle's Toyota leading 5 straight Ford cars on the inside lane.
Yeah, you kind of think like maybe that the Fords might want to shuffle him out to the outside so he can go join his Toyota brethren, but I don't really know if Alex is going to want to work with the 81 or not. But we'll just have to see when that we'll have to see when that time comes, when we cross that bridge. But for right now, Lyle's leading that inside pretty well with Cameron Jamison in second and Harry Crawford in third. Garson, thankfully, I'm going to knock on the wood while I'm saying this, but thankfully he has not had any warp issues ever since that restart. Hopefully it was just a freak incident that happened there with him and his warp. But for right now, he's sitting 4th on the inside. Talha, who was off the draft a little bit earlier in the race, has finally made his way back up into the draft, and he's sitting 5th on the inside right now, along with Dylan in the 90, who was involved in that big one that happened earlier. So yeah, 5 Fords lined up on the inside behind the Toyota, and then you see Steven Gibson behind those guys as well. Probably just trying to settle in for right now, probably not wanting to make his move until a little later, but I think that outside's starting to gain a little bit of momentum. It's taken a really long time, but Alex is finally starting to get side by side with the 38 here off of the exits of the corners, and it's only going to be a matter of time for Lyle to the side. The 92 is into the wall around, and the 77 and the 13 and the 8. And that's going to be a caution. That's a huge wreck as Chris Stottlemyre kind of bolts into the accident scene. I thought with the 92 rolling down the track there, he was going to plow into him again, but thankfully not. But huge damage on the 92 and the 13. Those 2 cars are probably going to have their races ended with that crash damage.
I was going to bring up Chevrolet because they've been the most quiet of the 3 manufacturers in this league. It has been Clements and Viola working together and have been in the top 10 all day. Well, Chevrolet has just took a heavy hit with Joshua Clements.
Yeah, I would say Clements is probably their top guy for getting the win here, but thankfully for them, and especially for SCR, because the 92's on the team SCR, Scuderia Carmona Racing, they got another car inside the top 10 right now, and it's that 27 William Viola and that Fat Boy Chevrolet. A beautiful looking paint scheme. I've always liked the Fat Boy, even though I really think that sponsor is better fit for a man like Landon Lyle, who's your leader right now, but I guess Cinnamon Toast Crunch will have to work for him. As pits are open this time, and none of those guys are going to come down pit road. Not even Alexander Gonzalez-Greene, who does a little fake there. But yeah, nobody's coming down pit road except for all the cars that were involved in the accidents. So that leads me to believe that they must be good on fuel right now.
Yeah, and that just makes this track position all the more important.
Yeah, especially that the track position battle is definitely a huge factor here for super speedway like Atlanta, especially in NR. It's not really like that in real life. Like you can like sort around a little bit and shuffle back and forth between drivers, but for right now in NR at least, on this track version, you really want the track position, and staying up at the front is paramount to anything else. As Talha blinks in and out there a little bit. But yeah, no, I mean not too much passing going on right now, but I don't know what we expected. But a few accidents that haven't really involved too many cars outside of the big one that we had earlier. But your top 10 has basically stayed the same throughout this entire race, and you know, it's just when you get up there, you kind of want to stay up there, and you'll do whatever it takes to keep your car up there inside the top 10.
I do spot a Liam Tingley in the waiting room.
Oh, I mean, if you want to drag him in.
Oh, he just left.
Oh, okay. I guess he heard us. Got scared.
Okay.
Oh, he fell out, but
Oh, he fell out.
if he were to come back, we could.
If he were to
bring
come
him
back,
in.
we can drag him in. The world's better with Liam in it, so.
Check to see if he hasn't sent me any Discord messages. I don't keep my Discord open. Okay, nah. That's where I usually go. That's where people would usually send me stuff they're wanting to. Actually, if everyone's like wanting to join like in the booth mid race, and I don't hear like a poke or whatever in the TeamSpeak, the YouTube chat's probably the only other thing I check.
Well, I feel bored. Let's just drag him in anyway.
User was moved to your channel.
Oh,
Hello, Liam.
Thank you, God. Our Savior is here. And he's dead
Hello,
silent.
gentlemen.
Hello.
My apologies. Perfect timing.
No, you're all good. We were like, oh, should we drag him up?
Yeah.
And then you fell out of the server.
Yeah, no, it was perfect timing.
Yeah.
I figured I'd see if there's any room left in the booth.
Well, thankfully there's one more spot that was perfectly. We still got your ass print in the seat, like it's perfect. We were just waiting for you to get into this booth. And thankfully, you've joined us at the perfect time right now as Lyle and Alexander Gonzalez-Greene is your front row as we come to the green flag here with 44 laps to go. And Lyle got a really good restart. He's going to clear the 18, and I don't know if he's going to shoot high or not, but the inside is not really formed up, but Garson is all over the back of that 18 as we head into turn 1 and turn 2.
It looks to me Lyle got too big of a jump. It can jam down directly with him, so that will allow AGG to possibly sweep by on the outside of turn 3 and 4.
Yeah, the outside just doesn't seem formed up as much as the inside is right now, and that's going to drop them back for a little bit. But eventually here, with the amount of good cars they have on the outside, I would imagine them starting to climb their way back through the field.
And I suppose, Liam, as the driver who was participating in this race, and I do apologize for your early retirement, does it really surprise you that everyone has been just blocking down to the inside?
It's definitely there's definitely a lot of manipulation on the outside, a lot of pinching that you got to do in order to make it viable. You see how closely they're running on exit there. You see the 18 really pinching off the exit on those inside cars to cut off the momentum. It's definitely it's workable up top, but it takes a little bit more effort and a lot more support.
And as Troxel may have alluded to, AGG, one of the best on the super speedways, and I'd like to argue also the most aggressive super speedway racer. No matter what league you're talking about, he is one of the drivers to watch out for. You want to work with him, but you still kind of feel a bit eerie about whether or not he'll wreck you.
Yeah, maybe I don't know about wrecking you, but just making a really aggressive move that's going to put your race at risk. But for right now, he's holding on pretty strong on that outside. He does have the help from the 70 of Garson Young, the 14 of TalhaDevYT, Viola and Rivera, with Rife and Rodriguez basically lining out that top side right now. But you know, the top this like line of 3 cars on the bottom right now, Crawford, Jameson, and the 81 Elaine and Lyle have all been holding pretty strong, really close to each other on the exits of the corners. And Alex hasn't been able to get up there to really pinch them down, as Liam was saying, to sort of thwart their momentum. But for right now, that top 3 of Lyle, Jameson, and Crawford are just really hanging on and keeping tabs on the field for this race.
Yeah, and one thing I will mention, Jameson, however you... Okay, I screwed up. He has some success in super speedway racing, but in none of the leagues that are really like mainstream. There's this league called Mondays of Thunder he races in, and he has a handful of super speedway wins in there, and he usually ends up front in those. Granted, a bit more high grip, but he does have that super speedway experience and that knowledge to do well at these tracks. Just I just haven't seen it translate at all to any of the other modern leagues until, granted, this may just be a fluke, but...
Oh! Harry's into the wall! He's going to be okay. That's going to definitely hurt his chances of staying in the pack, as he slowed down a lot after striking that wall. I think he's going to lose the draft, but thankfully no other cars were involved in that. I don't know if it was a bad push from the 18 entering the corner, or he just got loose there, getting scared, and just slammed it into the wall. But unfortunate for Harry, and that's going to kill the outside's momentum as Gonzalez-Greene, Young, and Aziz continue to fall back off this pack.
And that's the second time Crawford has been shuffled out of the lead draft from the top 5 places, so very detrimental to the 76 team.
Yeah, and he's going to find himself a nice spot in between the 13 of Skylar Dagan and the 77 of Jaden Mazzell there, who's, like I said, in his second career start, not doing too bad, I would say. Running 17th, hasn't plowed into any accidents, which is a big positive
minimum
you have to give to newer drivers in any sort of league in NR. But for right now, the top 3 is still Lyle, Cameron Jameson, and Dylan Negrone there when the 76 went up high. He slipped into that third line on the inside. He's been staying there ever since. Outside, still hanging on pretty tough with only 2 cars up there, with the 14 of TalhaDevYT falling back. But for right now, they're holding strong between the 27 of William Viola and the 01 of Friesen Rodriguez, as Garson gets a little wobbly there in the middle of the quad oval.
Yeah, they were paired up really well there through the backstretch in 3 and 4. Managed to pull a couple car lengths back. See if they can recruit any more cars up to that top side, make it a little bit more competitive as a groove. As they try to pull alongside William Viola here.
Yeah, I would think that if they got up there and they got maybe like 1 or 2 more cars, that I would see that 51 of Steven Gibson, who is a Toyota driver, jump up there with his Toyota Alline, the 18 of Alexander Gonzalez-Greene. But for right now, they're kind of just staying still right there, right next to the 01 and the 27. Actually starting to slip back a little bit as they lose momentum on the top side with only 2 cars up there. But for right now, they're holding strong, but it wouldn't surprise me if they were to slip back a little bit as this race continued on, as the 01 and the 18 are getting really close to hitting each other off the exits of these corners.
It's a very good point about the 51, known collaborator with the 18 in any number of plate track races. across many different series. So
Yeah,
it'll be
those
interesting to see as we get into the later stages of this race.
Yeah,
how
those two work.
can link up.
They work really well together on plate tracks. They always like working well together because they both can hold a pretty clean line, and they both know exactly what they want to do and when they want to do it. But for right now, as you said, we're going to have to wait until at least the later stages of this race to see if that's going to come into fruition, as they're still holding strong on the outside. I'm actually really surprised that they've held this strong. But it just goes to show you can make the outside work with a couple of cars, but you definitely need a lot more as Steven sweeps down the track to clean off the lower groove in case we need a pit stop and don't want anybody catching rubber or like maybe some oil sitting down there on the bottom of the track and spinning out on your entrance to pit road. So we appreciate him for doing that.
Absolutely. After a chaotic first half of the race, things have settled out here, by and large, so far in the second.
Yeah, and as I want to just like slip back towards the rear of the field right now. It looks like all those cars have gotten lined up with leading with Harry Crawford, and then you got Skylar Dagan, Jaden Mazzell, Elaine Johnson, Caden Reif, and Daniel Rodriguez all sitting there in a pack full of 6 cars. They're not really gaining anything on the lead pack because that lead pack is full of about 12 cars, but they're not 12, like 15 cars, but for right now, they're holding strong, just keeping up with them as they're passing the 79 of Chris Stottlemyre right now, who's going to stay to the outside. I'm going to go back to what you said earlier, Victor. We do not have to be surprised that he doesn't have engine damage anymore, because now we can clearly tell that he's pretty off the pace compared to everybody else.
Well, if that second group can use that 79 car to build a bridge between themselves and the lead group, that will definitely help them. They're losing 2 to 3 tenths a lap on the leaders. So, yeah, the 79 being off pace should aid them in their quest. They're 15th place, Harry Crawford, currently now 2.5 seconds back behind the final car within the lead group of Daniel Silla.
Well, we've recently witnessed the Artemis 2 mission landing back on Earth. What about a lunar slingshot around the 79 to get this trailing group back under the lead draft?
Yeah, it's going to take a lot of momentum off that 79. I don't even know if they would be able to pull any sort of draft off of him, especially with how many damaged cars are in that pack. But for right now, that's what they're going to have to basically bank it on, is a lunar slingshot from that far back. Maybe, I don't know, in a couple of years, we might see a EXE where you can get draft from about 2.5 seconds back. But for right now, it's going to take more than a lunar miracle for those guys to catch the lead pack with all those damaged cars.
Nearly a wreck as Garson warped just enough to force Jelani to a bit of a checkup, and that stalled his run. So there's a bit of a gap between himself and Friesen Rodriguez on the inside.
And yeah, I want to give a shout out to the 18 and the 70 here for still holding strong on the outside. Even when this inside's been formed up, it just takes a lot of cars, unfortunately, to make any sort of headway. And unfortunately for them, this inside line is just so well organized right now that it's pretty hard for them to gain any sort of ground, as the 19 is finally caught back up to the end of this line, and we might see the 18 and the 70 start slipping back a little bit again, unless they get some help from any one of those cars behind them that want to do anything to make this race a little more interesting for us up here in the booth.
Yeah, as we close into 12 to go here, I think that choke point there, they seem to be able to progress as far as alongside the 01 there. The 19, we know, was involved in an incident earlier in the race, as we see the 01 and 18 almost make contact. 18 way up the track. All right, and it's 3 wide now. That breaks up that 2-car tandem.
Yeah, I
on
do
the
believe
outside.
that's gonna kill the outside for at least a moment there, as like we were saying earlier, the 01 and the 18 were getting really close to hitting each other. Oh my God, Garson just warped.
How did he not break?
I can't believe he didn't break the 66.
He was inside him for a split second.
Yeah, might give Garson a warning there on the warp, but for right now, they're passing the 92 car, Joshua Clements, who was running up front earlier until he got in that incident. And with a lack of a rear bumper and probably some engine damage, he's going to slip all the way back. It's considering about slipping all the way back. That pack that we were talking about a little bit earlier has fallen to about 5 seconds back of the next closest lead lap car in the 15 of Daniel Rivera. So it doesn't seem to be working out very well for those guys. I mean, the 55's blinking out. These guys are getting crazy back here for just outside of the top 15. But for right now, as we come back up to the front, it's still the 81 of Landon Lyle with Cameron Jamison, Dylan Negrone, the 51 of Stephen Gibson, and the 27 of William Viola. Now, I don't know who you guys are rooting for right now inside of this top 5, but I'm rooting for Cameron Jamison to break what would be the longest streak in IFAR history for a driver. And there goes the 70. He's around. He's been spun out, and he's off the track. I don't think we're going to get anything from that, thankfully. But as I was saying earlier before he was turned, the 38 has gone 110 races without a single win in this series. If he were to win today, it would break the longest streak of a driver for getting a win in this series, breaking the streak that the 91 of Cole Rodriguez set with 47 victories when he won a few seasons ago. But I'm rooting for Cameron Jamison to take this one home, as now the entire pack is single filed out after that contact between the 70 and the 8.
And just as we say that,
crashes up.
Cameron Jamison slips up off a floor.
He's gonna hate me for jinxing him right there. But
well, I mean,
I don't know. It may be a blessing in disguise. I think these guys are gonna start getting a little bit more aggressive, but it just really sucks to get shuffled out this early. With only, I say this early. We have 8 laps to go, but for right now, you really don't want to get shuffled out and put all the way to the back there, because you're going to need a lot of help and a lot of momentum that just isn't built up right now on that outside.
I mean, you gave credit where credit was due. I mean, you can't really be too mad about that.
Yeah, I mean, he was running great. I mean, he's still going to get a good finish out of this no matter what. His Carl's below the 8.
What is Carl doing?
Nearly, I think he was scared of Alex possibly taking it 3 wide there, which I don't think he was going to do, but it hits the apron. He's going to check up those guys even more, and that's just going to spread out the pack a little bit more as these 6 cars kind of build a little bit of a breakaway, but Carl, Alex, and Cameron are starting to reel their way back into this lead pack as we hit 6 to go right now. Lyle still leads. Negrone is finally in 2nd place. We're going to see if he's going to be able to make a move. And then we got Stephen Gibson, William Viola, and Friesen Rodriguez rounding out your top 5.
Yeah, I imagine eventually you're going to run out of time. If everyone's running single file, eventually it's going to be too late. These laps are ticking down.
Yeah, it's
It's
just a matter
see
of...
if we can form enough well-handling cars that are undamaged as Jelani slips up behind the 01 and there's contact.
Jelani gets turned by the 08 of Carl Childress. I mean, that was a pretty aggressive move, but I don't know if he was there or not. But still, that's going to take poor Jelani out of this battle for the win. As right now, we're still single file basically through the entire field. I can't really get too excited right now, but
we can give him a bump and run and wrecked it, right?
Yeah.
Thank up.
But right now,
point of no return has been reached.
Yeah, point of return. So we will not have any more cautions from here on out, which is probably a little bit of a blessing to these guys. But unfortunately, it's not really going to help anybody out in this pack. But the outside starting to gain a little bit of momentum here. Alexander Gonzalez-Greene's trying to make that outside work with JLP, Talha Aziz, and Cameron Jamison. I think they're going to start gaining a little ground, but I don't know if it's too late or not for those guys to try to make that outside lane work.
They're going to need more cars.
To see whether or not that 66 is going to be a blessing or a curse with that little bit of damage that they've got.
Yeah, that too.
I think it's helping them just enough right now to where they're passing the 01, which they were not able to do for a really long time in that run. As we're coming to 2 laps to go this time around, Landon Lyle has basically not been fought with this entire race, but right now Viola on the outside with Alexander Gonzalez-Greene getting the push. He's going to have the run off the exit of 2. He's going to be side by side with the 90. Lyle's going to start sweating now.
Yeah, I imagine he's not going to take no for an answer. He's going to start blocking these lanes.
Yeah, and Viola's going to get to his outside. He's going to be there on his outside as we come to the white flag. Viola with a perfectly timed push from the 18 is going to give him the lead as they come to the white flag.
And it is the former MCR driver, now on Scuderia Carmona Racing, game with the push from Gonzalez-Greene. He is clear for the race lead. He's got the lap car of Garza Mulia up ahead. Shouldn't interfere with this battle as
Oh,
Stephen
what a
Gibson
save
is
from
safe.
Stephen Gibson as they
But
come off
it
of
is
turn 4. Here
going to
comes
be
William
Viola
Viola.
who wins Atlanta.
Yeah, a good win for Viola. I cannot believe a move was able to be made on that outside, but I guess they timed it perfectly, and Viola was able to become the victor. I do believe that it's either his like first or second win in IFAR, but it's definitely his first win for Scuderia Carmona Racing in their return to the Cup Series, as Viola takes a really well-timed victory here at Atlanta.
Yeah, did everything right. Now, if I'm Lyle, he did I mean, he didn't really. I mean, he was in the catbird seat. It just led so many laps, and everyone did what they needed to there at the end just to get that one different lead change, and that's all it took to get a different winner here.
Yeah, that one lead change was, I want to make a joke here, but it was unfortunately not the only lead change we had in the green flag racing this entire race, but it sure did feel like it, as William Viola is going to take it to the front straightaway and burn it down here at Atlanta. He is your winner in that beautiful Fat Boy number 27 for Scuderia Carmona Racing. And let me get my message into IFAR General to never go there again.
Yes, please. Daggone, that scheme is sick, man.
Yeah, simplicity kills sometimes, and it's definitely killing there with that on that car.
It's too simple, but
no, it's not too simple, but like I would say the design is simple enough to where, like, I mean, I don't really think you need geometric shapes or anything like that, or like spikes or halftones or anything like that to make that car look real good.
Yeah, no, those gradients, something like that.
But yeah, William Viola. I'm just gonna look it up because I don't know if this is his first one or not.
He was just talking about it the other day. It is.
Okay, yeah, okay. So that is his first win. Is it his first win? Oh yeah, it is. Took 33 starts for William Viola to get that first career win. But he finally got it, and he couldn't have done it at a better place and at a better spot in Atlanta. He's going to enjoy some Fat Boy ice cream in Victory Lane whenever he can find a gap in the wall to go into the infield.
There might not be one.
There might not be one on this truck. No, there is. Hold on, let me tell him.
It's on the front straight, yeah. He might already be headed toward that. I don't know, maybe not. Yeah, he's already off track.
Wow, and JLP lied to him. Unbelievable.
No opening here.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
But yeah, no, William Viola takes that race win, his first career win in IFAR. Second place is going to be Alexander Gonzalez-Greene. Third place is going to come home to Landon Lyle, who basically led for that entire last run, but unfortunately got past there, coming to the white flag, and couldn't really do anything about it. JLP, I believe, is going to have his career best finish with a fourth place here at Atlanta. And then Dylan Negrone rounds out your top 5 in that 90s. I forget what his sponsor is, but that 90 Ford, we're going to call it that, the 90 Ford. And then Stephen Gibson, after getting put to the back with that, whatever happened to him on pit road, is going to come home in 6th place. Cameron Jameson still gets top 10. He comes home in 7th. Friesen Rodriguez comes home in 8th. Carl gets 9th place after basically like killing 12 people in the final run. And Daniel Rivera is going to round out your top 10 after him and Lyle got into that little bit of that altercation during that caution. And then so we scan on back further through the field. Daniel Silla comes home in 11th. Talha's in 12th. 13th goes to Elaine Johnson. That might be their career best finish. I could be wrong. And then Caden Rife comes home in 14th. A good finish after that crash damage. Same with Daniel Rodriguez, and then Skylar Dagan, Harry Crawford, Jelani Howe, who unfortunately got spun out by Carl Children.
Carl!
7 to go. Comes home in 18th. Jaden Mazel finishes his first race in IFAR. He's going to come home in 19th ahead of Garson Muyung, who was the last car on the lead lap. We had 2 other cars finish this race. It was the 92 of Joshua Clements and the 79 of Chris Stottlemyre. And then you had 3 more cars that unfortunately could not finish this race, and that was the 25 of William Tingley, who's thankfully in the booth, so he found something else to do. Cervera sitting in 24th, and then Landon Laudenbach in 25th, with Thomas Johnson rounding out your field in 26th.
All right. Let's go ahead and bring in our race winner, William Viola.
User was moved to your channel.
Hey, Will, you got a copy?
Let's go!
Yeah, I would definitely say you got to be really, really happy with your first career win coming at a place
Finally.
like this. I know the passing was a premium here. You saw the guy that eventually pushed you to the win, beating your outside for about 20 laps, but thankfully the run came at the perfect time and you took it to the outside. Lyle couldn't block it. And yeah, first career win in 33 starts. How does it feel?
Incredible. I was shaking that whole last lap. That team state, I was going crazy. Yeah, that was just crazy. I mean, I just had to keep Alex behind. Luckily, 3 wide's not really possible on this track, so even with, I don't really know who was behind Alex, but I assumed he was going to try something, but there was just nowhere to go. And I went outside at the perfect time. I feel so bad for Lyle, who's also going for his first win, but finally did it. First start for SCR. First win after 4 years. Finally did it.
Yeah, no, you got to feel really good about that. Well, the lucky thing for you is I do believe that Landon Lyle has more starts than you, so you're able to hold that over his head. I believe that was your 33rd start or 34th start and your first win, and Lyle was going on to his 36th start. So thankfully you got that edge up over him.
You get that I let one gif with the blob holding that shaking the jelly thing in front of the news reporter guy from Monsters vs. Aliens. I guess I didn't hit as hard as it would. Oh well.
No, I was kind of waiting for somebody to ask him a question because I don't want to ask all the questions I did last night.
I will ask. You do know that Coda race? I hate to bring it up. I know, painful memory, but with this win, does that make that hurt a little less, at least?
Yeah, that was a race I really wish I could redo. And yeah, now doesn't matter nearly as much now that I finally did it.
Victor, you got any
Incredible.
questions?
Not really, but I do want to mention with this win, William Viola, you have just taken over the points lead.
Whoa,
Wow.
that's a big one.
Yeah,
Wow.
That's gonna be big. I imagine you're going through a whirlwind of emotions right now, especially with your first win and taking the points lead there. I wish you could have done it for my team, but I shut my fucking team down after the season, and you did it in your first start, so I maybe should have waited another season until I shut my team down. But either way, I'm extremely happy for you, and I'm glad you were able to get your first win. At a long time coming, man. Congrats.
Thank you.
I mean, I'll sympathize with Troxel because you were an Valley Cup racing driver. You got called out by Aria, and your first race with her, you win.
I was hoping I could have got it with you, but yeah. I mean, thank you for letting me drive for you for a while, but
Yeah, no.
if I had an option for a seat at a top team,
Wow.
Well,
I'm
a
just
top
gonna
team.
All right.
Meanwhile, they just poach any random driver.
Yeah.
Liam, you got any questions for Will?
I mean, first and foremost, congratulations, Will. I'm sorry I wasn't able to offer too much teammate support this evening. But it's fantastic to see that you're able to make it work, especially on the outside where it was so difficult to make moves throughout this race. Given how challenging it was throughout the race to make moves on that outside, What did you find was necessary to, or what convinced you to finally make that move up top as we got to the closing stages?
It was really just that bottom, as the run would go on, as tires would wear out a little bit. There wasn't much tire wear, but when they would wear out, it would the turning on the bottom wasn't as good, so that the top would strengthen as the run go on. And I looked in my mirror, I saw there was maybe like the cars weren't very bunched up on the bottom behind me. So I saw they were like all bunched up. There was a line of like maybe 8 of them on the top. I mean, I only glanced at it for a quick second. Maybe I'm wrong there. But I just saw a giant group up there, and I'm like, this is where the momentum is. This is where I have to go, and I have to do it now. It was like 2 or 3 laps to go. And if I stayed on the bottom, I mean, would have been a great points day. Still would have probably been in the championship lead, but I'm happy I made that move. That was perfect timing. I could not have done that better.
A race-winning move indeed. Thank you very much, Will. That was fantastic. Fantastic performance today.
Thank you. I was hoping it could have, helped you and Josh, but Bex, unfortunately.
Yeah, unfortunately, they had to be sacrificed for the win. So, it happens. It happens. But thankfully, I don't think Ari is going to be too upset with 2 drivers crashing out and the other one taking home their first victory in IFAR. Congratulations, Will.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't look like we got anyone else. I guess we'll just kind of open up the room here.
Thank God, because I think Will's going to be the only person who's going to be happy with how that race went.
Probably.
Well, that race, I think they should, if they do race there again, they should go back to the Season 14 version. Or at least that base. Because...
I just don't think they should race there again.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, we got so many other tracks.
Don't race there, but if Alex does want to go back there, I don't think that version was very good.
Yeah, no, he'll definitely be hearing it from me in like 10 minutes. So.
Yeah. Anyone else got anything before we close this stream?
I mean, no other besides the fact I'm upset that he didn't win for my team, but I really don't care because he still got his first win. So.
Hey, I mean, this is what it is.
Yeah, no, I mean, like I won't be heartbroken. It'll have to wait.
It's okay, Charles. It's okay. It's okay, man. It's okay.
You'll get it eventually.
Yeah. I did mention the Troxel's top tips at the beginning of the show, or not the beginning of the show, but before we went to the race. Again, I think you mentioned it last night. Everybody should watch baseball. Baseball is good, and go stand in the rain for 5 minutes.
Yeah, good.
Yeah,
good.
I just update that every week.
Yeah, no, good. Thank you.
Yeah, got them Troxel's top tips.
People need to know. People need to know.
And it's good information, right?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think that's gonna do it here for us. I want to thank everybody involved. Congratulations to William Viola on the victory. Thanks to the league owner, Alexander Gonzalez-Greene, hosting. There's a lot of other people I could credit, but I can't think of anyone on the top of my head. But yeah, thanks to everyone involved. If you enjoyed, be sure to like, subscribe. I believe IFAR does have a public invite link, so if you do want to join IFAR, I think there's a link in the Cheese Food server.
Buddy disconnected from your channel.
Channel description as well. As for me, everyone here, I think we're going to go ahead